Hi, good day all of you. Today we are going to discuss about algorithm and flowchart. Why we need to discuss about algorithm? Because if you want to write a program by using either C programming or C++, Java or Python, before writing program we need to write algorithm for that program because algorithm is the first step of writing program. Algorithm is the first step of writing a program. Yes, before writing program we need to write algorithm, then algorithm should be convertible into flowchart, then flowchart should be convertible into program. This is the process of writing a C program or any program. Correct or not? Yes. So, what is meant by algorithm? Algorithm and flowchart. What is meant by algorithm? Algorithm is a step-by-step procedure. It is a step-by-step procedure for solving any kind of problem. For solving any kind of problem. Yes. Any problem. We must solve that problem in a step-by-step manner. That is called the algorithm. So the perfect definition of algorithm is a step-by-step procedure for solving any kind of problem by using pseudocode. This is the perfect definition of algorithm. Algorithm is a step-by-step procedure for solving any kind of problem by using pseudocode. Then what is meant by pseudocode? Yes, the language, pseudocode is the language which we are using to write steps of an algorithm. To write steps of an algorithm is called the pseudocode. Pseudocode is an informal and artificial language. Pseudocode is an informal. There is no formality. There is no formal. Yes, I can write steps in my own manner. Another person can write steps in their own manner. Meaning should be similar, but they can write steps in their own manner. That is called informal language. You need to write like this only. There is no such a type of rule in writing algorithm. So flowchart means it is an informal language and artificial language. It is an informal and artificial language. Artificial means, I told you clearly, everybody can write in their own manner. That is called informal and artificial language. So, pseudocode is an informal and artificial language which we are using to write the steps of an algorithm. Suppose I am using English language, then English language becomes pseudocode. Chinese people are using Chinese language, then for writing algorithm. So Chinese language becomes pseudocode. Like that, I am going to write algorithm by using Telugu language, then Telugu language becomes pseudocode. Hindi becomes pseudocode. What I am telling you, pseudocode is a language which we are using to write the steps of an algorithm is called the pseudocode. Finally, I am telling you definitions of algorithm and pseudocode. Algorithm is a step-by-step procedure for solving any kind of problem by using pseudocode. Pseudocode means it is an informal and artificial language which we are using to write the steps of an algorithm. For example, sir, can you give me an example for algorithm? My problem is, I told you, algorithm is a step-by-step process for solving any kind of problem. My problem is, I need to travel from my home, Hyderabad to Vijayawada home. So, first step is, if you want to go to Vijayawada, first of all, I need to start from here, correct or not? I need to start from here. So, first step is, start from my home at Hyderabad. Second step, from my home to near bus stop. I need to travel from my home to bus stop to catch the bus. Third step is take bus from Hyderabad to Vijayawada. This is the third step. Fourth step, get down at Vijayawada bus station. Next one is from bus station to travel from bus station to home in Vijayawada. So I reached my home in Vijayawada, then there is no need to do this process, correct or not? Finally, I need to stop traveling, correct or not? So this step by step manner is called the algorithm. Yes. Here I solved my problem in a step by step manner. So this type of step by step procedure for solving any kind of problem is called the algorithm. Yes. Algorithm is a step by step. Here how many steps I did? 6 steps. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step by step 6. Here I solved my problem by using 6 steps. Yes, that is called algorithm. Algorithm is a step by step procedure for solving any kind of problem by using pseudocode. What is meant by pseudocode? The language which we are using to write the steps of an algorithm. The language which we are using to write the steps of an algorithm is called the pseudocode. It is an informal and artificial language which we are using to write the steps of an algorithm is called the pseudocode. Here I have written steps by using English language. So here English language becomes pseudocode. This is the definition of algorithm and pseudocode. So what? Sir, while writing algorithm, we need to follow any properties? Yes. Each algorithm should follow 5 characteristics. Should follow 5 steps. Each algorithm should contain 5 steps. 5 characteristics, not steps. Characteristics, properties of algorithm. Properties. Each algorithm should follow 5 properties. First one is finiteness. Second one is definiteness. Third one is effectiveness. Fourth one is generality. Fifth one is input and output. These are the 5 characteristics. These are the 5 properties every algorithm should follow. First one is what? Finiteness. Yes, I told you algorithm is a step by step procedure. Correct or not? Finiteness means every algorithm should contains only finite number of steps. So it may be 5, 10, 100, 200, not infinity. Algorithm should ends in a finite number of steps. So algorithm should contains only finite number of steps. So that is the first property every algorithm should follow. That is called finiteness. Second property is finite. First one is finiteness means finite number of steps. Finite number of steps. Definiteness means, I told you algorithm contains number of statements, number of steps, multiple steps, correct or not? No 2 steps must be similar. No 2 steps must be similar means every step must be unique. Every step must be unique. Yes. No 2 steps must be similar. Means each step of an algorithm should be unique. It may contain 100 steps. In those 100 steps, among those 100 steps, no 2 steps must be similar. That is called definiteness. Effectiveness. Third property is effectiveness. Yes. We need to write the steps of an algorithm such that the steps of an algorithm should be easily convertible into program statements. Yes, we are calling algorithm steps, so same steps we are calling in program statements. Here we are calling each line as a step. In program, each line we are calling as statement. So we need to write the steps of an algorithm such that the steps of an algorithm should be easily convertible into program statement. Yes, this point we will discuss in future in depth. Don't worry. Effectiveness means the steps of an algorithm should be easily convertible into program statements. That is called effectiveness. Fourth one is generality. Yes, very important property. Generality means this algorithm should give output for any type of input data. For example, I have written algorithm for adding addition of two numbers. So this algorithm should give output for addition of two integer numbers, addition of two float numbers, real values, 2.3, 4.6, these are called real values. 10, 25, 36, these are called integer numbers. Okay, so if you write an algorithm for addition of two numbers, that algorithm should give output for addition of two positive values, addition of two negative values, or one positive or one negative, one integer, one fraction, one real number or a float number. So that is called generality. Algorithm should run for any type of input data, that is called generality. And the final step is input and output. Yes, an algorithm may take either zero input, means it may not take any input, or it may take one input, it may take two inputs or more than two inputs, but it must produce at least one output. Without solution, is it possible to write an algorithm? No, there should be some solution, that is called output. So input and output means an algorithm may take either single zero input, means it may not take either any input, or it may take one input or two inputs or more than two inputs, but it must produce at least one output, that is called input and output. So like that, every algorithm should follow 5 properties. Finiteness means algorithm should contain only finite number of steps. No two steps must be similar, that is called differentness. Effectiveness, the steps of an algorithm must be easily convertible into program statements, and that algorithm should run for any type of input data, that is called generality, and it may take either zero input or one input or more than one input, but it must produce at least one output, that is called input and output. These are the 5 properties every algorithm should follow. Then algorithm notations. Yes. While writing algorithm, we need to follow some notations. First one is algorithm name. Second notation is step number. Third one is start and stop. So each algorithm should follow these 3 notations. First one is algorithm name. Yes, while writing algorithm, before writing steps of an algorithm, we need to mention the algorithm name. What is meant by algorithm name? Algorithm name represents the problem which we are going to solve. Suppose I am going to solve addition of two numbers. I am writing an algorithm regarding addition of two numbers. So before writing steps of an algorithm, you can put heading algorithm name, addition of two numbers. Algorithm name, average of 3 numbers. Suppose if I am going to write average of 3 numbers, then algorithm name, average of 3 numbers. So finally what I am telling you, before writing steps of an algorithm, we need to write algorithm name. Algorithm name represents the problem which we are going to solve. Then second one is step number. Yes, I told you algorithm is a step-by-step process. Means algorithm contains several number of steps. Each step contains a step number. That step number generally we consider from step 1, step 2, step 3 and increments like that. And somebody you can start step number 0 also, step 0, step 1, step 2 also. But generally we start with step number 1, step 1, step 2, step 3 like that. Okay. So each step of algorithm should contain step number. And the third one is start and stop. Yes, it contains multiple steps. Algorithm contains multiple steps, number of steps. In each algorithm, the first step must be start. Remember this point, my dear students. In each algorithm, the first step must be start and the last step must be stop. Understood? Yes. In each algorithm, the first step must be start and the last step must be stop. Between start and stop, you can write any finite number of steps. Between start and stop, we can write any finite number of steps, and those steps we are going to use to solve our problem. Very, very, very important topic. Without knowing algorithm and flowchart, we cannot write a program perfectly. Okay, so these are the notations we need to follow in writing an algorithm. Now I am going to write the algorithm. Now I am going to write an algorithm to find addition of two numbers. I told you, while writing an algorithm, we need to follow some notations. First notation is algorithm name. Algorithm name. I told you, algorithm name represents the problem which we are going to solve. What is my problem? What I am doing here? I am going to find addition of two numbers. That is the algorithm name. Addition of two numbers. This is called algorithm name. So after algorithm name, you can start a procedure. You can start real procedure. So I told you, each step contains its step number and generally step number count starts from 1. So step 1. I told you, in each algorithm, the first step must be start. Start. Then step 2. While writing algorithm, we need to think ourselves. Suppose if I want to add two numbers, first of all, what I need to do? First of all, I need to enter two numbers. It may be calculator, it may be computer. If you want to perform addition of two numbers, first of all, you should know those two numbers, correct or not? Without knowing those two numbers, is it possible to add? Not possible, right or not? So we need to think ourselves. So I started my process in step 1. So my problem is I want to add two numbers. So if you want to add two numbers, you need to think logically. Yes. Without entering two numbers, I cannot find addition. So what I need to do? I need to enter two numbers. Yes. Step 2 is enter two numbers. Correct or not? Step 3. I entered two numbers. Means I have two numbers now. If you have two numbers, what I can do? If you have two numbers, what you can do? You can add two numbers. Add two numbers. Then after adding two numbers, I will get some results, correct or not? So what I need to do? Print the result. I need to display the result, correct or not? After in calculator, if I enter 12 plus 24, it is showing 36 or not, result, correct or not? So that is called print result or display result. Print result. I got result. Anything to do? Nothing to do. So finally what I need to do? I need to stop the process. So this is called algorithm, writing an algorithm. This is a way of writing an algorithm. Algorithm is a step-by-step procedure for solving any kind of problem. While writing algorithm, we need to follow some notations. First one is algorithm name. Algorithm name represents the problem which we are going to solve. My problem is I need to add two numbers. That's why I have written addition of two numbers. Second notation is step number. Algorithm contains several number of steps and each step must contain its step number. Generally step number count starts from 1. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 1, fine. So start and stop. In each algorithm, the first step must be start, and last step must be stop. First step must be start, last step must be stop. Between start and stop, you can write any number of steps, and these steps are used to solve my problem, our problem. So this is a way of writing algorithm. This is the way of writing algorithm. Yes. So one more problem I am going to write. I want to find the average of three numbers. Average of three numbers. Average of three numbers. Average of three numbers. So tell me, before writing algorithm, I need to write the algorithm name. Algorithm name represents the problem which we are going to solve. My algorithm name here is average of three numbers. Average of three numbers. Correct or not? Yes. Then step 1. In each algorithm, the first step always must be start. Then step 2. What I am going to do here? I am going to find average of three numbers. I am going to find average of three numbers. If you want to find average of three numbers, first of all, what I need to do? I need to enter three numbers. Without entering three numbers, is it possible? Not possible. Correct or not? First of all, if you want to find the average of three numbers, suppose assume three numbers are A, B, C. Assume three numbers as A, B, C. So without knowing A, B, C values, I cannot find average. Correct or not? So means if you want to find average of three numbers, first of all, I need to enter three numbers and assume those numbers as A, comma B, comma C. Assume A is one number, B is one number, C is one number. Now I have three numbers A, B, C. Assume A, B, C. If you know the three number, how to find the average of three numbers? First of all, I need to find the sum of three numbers. Correct or not? First of all, I need to find the step 3. Add A, B and C. Suppose assume three numbers are 10, 20, 30. A value as 10, B value as 20, C value as 30. Third step what I did? Add ABC. Add ABC. And assume result as sum. So ABC means 10 plus 20 plus 30 equal to 60. So I am going to store this result in sum. Sum value becomes 60. Then step 4 what I need to do? Perform sum by 3. Correct or not? Means 60 by 3 becomes 20. Correct? This is called result. So finally what I need to next I need to do? I got the result 20. So what I need to do? Print the result. Then step 6. After printing result, nothing to do. Then finally we need to stop the process. So this is a way of writing algorithm steps. Algorithm is a step-by-step process for solving any kind of problem by using pseudocode. Pseudocode is an informal and artificial language which we are going to use to write the steps of an algorithm. Correct or not? Yes, correct. So next one is flowchart. Means if you want to write a program, first of all, we should know the way of writing an algorithm. Remember, while working in companies, no need to write an algorithm generally. No need to write, but we should know. How to write an algorithm. So next one is flowchart. Very, very important topic. Flowchart is the second step of writing a program. I told you, algorithm is the first step of writing a program. Flowchart is the second step of writing a program. Yes. Second step of writing a program. Then what is meant by flowchart? The definition of flowchart is the pictorial representation of an algorithm. Pictorial representation of an algorithm by using some symbols. So flowchart is the pictorial representation of an algorithm. Flowchart is the pictorial representation of an algorithm by using some symbols. What are the symbols we are using generally to draw a flowchart? First one is oval symbol. Oval symbol we are using for start and stop. I told you flowchart is the pictorial representation of an algorithm steps. I will show you algorithm here how to draw flowchart for this algorithm. Okay, in the next step, no problem, by using some symbols. Algorithm contains start and stop. First step of an algorithm should be always start. Last step of an algorithm should be always stop. Correct or not? So wherever you get start and stop, the corresponding step in the flowchart is oval symbol start, oval symbol stop. Inside oval symbol, we need to represent start or stop. So oval, this symbol is called oval symbol. Oval, we are using this for start and stop. Next one is parallelogram. This is called parallelogram. This we are using for input and output. Parallelogram we are using for input and output. Parallelogram for input and output. Next one is rectangle. This is we are using for calculation purpose. Next one is rhombus. We are using for condition checking. Suppose I want to find the biggest of two numbers. I need to compare, assume two numbers are A and B. If A greater than B, means what I am doing here? Comparison, greater than, less than. For this type of comparisons, this is called decision making. Correct or not? Depends upon A and B values. I am going to take decision whether A is big or B is big. Correct or not? So this rhombus we are using for decision making. This is called decision making. Circle. This is called circle for continuation. What is meant by continuation? While drawing flowchart, I have 10 steps. 5 steps completed. Page is over. Page completed. I want to continue this process in the next page. Then I need to do circle here. Then in the next page, circle here, like this. Means circle represents continuation, not completed. Continuation means not completed. Next one is arrows. Arrows means connections. Yes, between these symbols, we need to give arrows. Arrows represents connections. So in the previous before 10 minutes we discussed about addition of two numbers algorithm. Now what I am going to do, I am going to write an algorithm for addition of two numbers. Here I am going to draw a flowchart for this algorithm. Flowchart is the pictorial representation of an algorithm. Clear? Flowchart is the pictorial representation of an algorithm by using some symbols like oval. Oval can be used for start and stop. Parallelogram for input and output. Rectangle for calculation, and circle, rhombus for decision making. Circle for continuation, and arrows for connections. These are the symbols generally we are going to use to draw a flowchart. Now you see here I am going to write an algorithm. Here I am going to draw a flowchart for the algorithm. Addition of two numbers. First one is algorithm name. Before writing an algorithm, we should write algorithm name. What is algorithm name? Addition of two numbers. Addition of two numbers. Correct or not? Yes. So next one is step 1. Step 1 is always should be start. Then step 2. I told you, if you want to find addition of two numbers, first of all we need to enter two numbers. Enter two numbers. Assume two numbers as enter A and B. Assume A is one number, B is one number. Correct or not? Yes. Step 3. Step 3. If you have A and B, assume if I take any A and B, consider A is one number, B is one number. If enter A and B, two numbers entered, then if you have two numbers, what I can do? I can add two numbers. Add A and B and store result in C. Yes, what I am doing? I am suppose I entered 12 plus 12, 12 plus 24, 12 plus 24. After adding it gives 36, correct or not? That is called result. So we need to store that result in another variable. Assume these are the variables. Variable can store a value. Remember this point. Assume A, B, C are variables. Variable topic we will discuss in the next class clearly. Don't worry. Assume A, B, C. Here whatever I am using those as variables. Each variable can store one value. Here A can store first number, B can store second number. After adding A and B, it gives some result 36. Assume that I am going to store into C. C contains 36 result. Yes. So now the result is available in variable C. Step 4. Step 4. Print C which contains result. Correct or not? Print C. Print C which contains some result. Then step 5. Print already result printed, nothing to do. Then finally stop. Now what I am going to do? I am going to then what is flowchart? Flowchart is the pictorial representation of an algorithm. Flowchart is the pictorial representation of an algorithm. Same algorithm I am going to translate into flowchart. What is the first step in algorithm? Start. What told you? For start and stop in flowchart, what we are using? Oval symbol. Yes, the equivalent step in flowchart is oval symbol. Inside oval symbol, you need to write start. Correct? First step is start. So for this is start and stop, we are going to use oval. So here flowchart, what we need to specify? Inside oval symbol, we need to specify start. Yes. Then one arrow. What is the second step? Enter A and B. Enter A and B means entering means giving some input. We are giving something, correct or not? Whatever we are giving to computer or calculator is called the input. So for input and output, what we are using? Parallelogram. For input and output, we are using parallelogram. Yes. Enter A and B. Yes. Enter A and B. Arrow. What is the third step? Add A and B and store result in C. Add A. I have two values in A and B. If you have two numbers, what I can do? I can add two numbers, correct or not, and store the result in C. So that is called calculation, correct or not? Adding two numbers, storing something is called calculation. We are doing something, right or not? That is called calculation. For calculations, what we are using? We are using rectangle. We are using rectangle. C equal to A plus B, correct or not? Adding A and B and storing result in C, correct or not? Then fourth step is printing. Printing means displaying some result. That is called output. Computer giving output to the user. Whatever computer giving is called the output. Whatever we are giving to the computer is called input. Whatever computer giving to user is called the output. For input and output, what we are using? We are using parallelogram. We are using parallelogram. Yes. Print C value. Print C value. Then finally, this is the second step, third step, fourth step, fifth step is start. For start and stop, what we are using? Oval symbol. Then finally, oval symbol, stop. The pictorial representation of an algorithm is called the flowchart. The pictorial representation of an algorithm by using some symbols is called the flowchart. By using some symbols is called the flowchart. So this is the way of writing an algorithm and the way of drawing a flowchart. Same, one more flowchart I am going to draw. Average of three numbers. Average of three numbers. For example, you consider steps like this. So before writing algorithm, we need to write algorithm name. Average of three numbers. Average of three numbers. Step 1 is always start. Step 2 is enter three numbers A, B and C. Correct or not? Then what we have to do? Add three numbers. Correct or not? Add A, B and C and store result in D. Then fourth one is D by 3. Correct or not? D by 3. Then print result. Okay. Finally, step 6 is stop. Step 6 is stop. Like that, here, this is the homework for you. This is the homework for you. Like this, draw a flowchart for this type of algorithm and remaining some algorithms and flowcharts. Tomorrow, we will continue. Okay. So, this is the way of writing an algorithm and drawing a flowchart. So, algorithm, finally, I am telling you, algorithm is the first step of writing a program. Flowchart is the second step of writing a program in C. So without knowing algorithm and flowchart, we cannot do anything in C program, writing C program. So same topic about algorithm and flowchart, we will continue by writing some algorithms and flowcharts in the next class. My dear friends, please, if you like this video, please subscribe and please share this video to your friends and ask them to subscribe and learn the program in depth. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for your cooperation.